Hello, hello. It is the end of day 4 of actual hiking, not day 4 of travel, since I have officially been gone a week. Last Wednesday was when I left the Springs, which is kind of crazy. I think today's Wednesday. Hang on. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yes, day 4. So today was pretty good. So I left Pamplona a little later, like 8:30. Excuse me. Which gave me a little time to repack my bag and organize things and get stuff together. Um, on the way out of the city, I was stopped by a couple groups of like school kids, maybe are in the middle schoolish age, maybe, or like freshmen in high school, but I feel like middle school maybe. But they came up and they were like, "Can we ask you some questions?" And they were practicing their English, so they asked me questions about the Camino and how long I was doing it and why I was doing it and if I had any interesting stories or funny stories, which is kind of cute. So the one group of students asked me, and then they like recorded me, and then as I kept walking, like another student group of students asked me, so I did it for them too. So it's a pretty good opportunity, actually, as I was thinking about it, for the students to go out and talk to the pilgrims who come through town, practice their English or other languages, and then meet people from all over. So came out of the city, um, walked for a while. It was relatively, well, it was going up, but over a long period of time, so it wasn't too bad. And then we went up to this town. I don't know exactly how to say it. I have to go look at it again. Although when I asked some Spanish friends how to pronounce it, they didn't know either. I mean, they did, but it was kind of a different sounding name. So I don't feel as bad, but I'll have to go look at it. I'll put it maybe in the description. But I stopped in this town midday, got lunch, which was really good. It was mostly really good because I was really hungry, but it was also really good. It was like bread and like an omelet with cheese. Sorry, not with cheese, omelet with tomato. And so I ate there, and then I actually just took a break for a while. I hung out in that little town for like an hour, ate, and did a couple more bag adjustments. Tended to my foot. My right foot has like a little blister maybe that's forming, and some other kind of toe issues, and so I was trying to put some band-aids and moleskin on that to make sure that everything's good. And then I just kind of sat in the sun, drank some water, and hung out there for a while, which was nice. And then coming out of the city, out of that little town, you go up for a bit more, and then you hit this peak, which is also called the Alto de Perdón, where there's this actually a monument to a number of people who were killed during an invasion. I need to go read more about it. But there's this monument there at the Alto de Perdón, and then on the other side there's like a monument to pilgrims, and so it's this big picture of like, not picture, but like iron or kind of metal wrought statues of pilgrims walking across the mountains. And so there's a bunch of people there. I took some pictures there. And then you come down this really steep hill with like so many rocks. It felt like I could fall at any second. So I was took it very slow. But on the way down, I ran into a couple folks that I had met on Sunday on the way to Roncesvalles. So the three Spanish folks I met, Javier and Susanna, which is a couple, and then Jose, who turns out is Javier's cousin. But I saw him; he was going up ahead, and then I ran into Susanna and Javier, and then I walked the rest of the like 11 kilometers with them, and we just took our time. We walked through the fields, and they told me the Spanish words for different plants, like thyme, I think was tomillo, and tigo, I believe was wheat. And we saw green beans, and we saw rapeseed plants. There's just like and vineyards, just tons and tons of like plants and flowers and all these things. So they taught me Spanish words, and they practiced their English, and we chatted. They're really cool. And we just took our time and took pictures and walk through the cities, the little towns along the way. There are all these little towns on the way to Puenta la Reina. And because we took our time, we got here later, probably around five something, 5:30 or six, um, and uh, and then I just came in and I laid down, and I had just been feeling pretty good. But then after I stopped, I felt so sore. I still feel very sore. I've stretched a lot, and um, will continue to do so. But tomorrow's a rest day, which is fantastic, and I'll stretch some more. Yeah, so now I'm just chilling in my private room. Private room for rest days is the best idea ever. And I'll go back to the albergues with shared dormitories um, in a couple days after I'm back on the trail again. Last thing I'll say is that this hotel or hostel also has a bar and restaurant, and so I went down there for dinner. And Barcelona is playing Milan right now in the like semifinals for Champions League, and it's very exciting down there. First, it started off and Barcelona was doing very well, and Milan scored early. There are a few Milan fans in there, but the overwhelming majority are Barcelona. So it was kind of hype to be in there for a football match. But yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep and sleep in past 6:30, hopefully. All right, day 4.